Imagine standing in a snow-covered plain when suddenly, out of the icy mist, emerges a creature larger than any elephant you have ever seen. Its massive, curved tusks glisten as they slice through the frost, and its shaggy fur waves in the freezing wind. Hard to believe? Yet it is true. Once upon a time, such a beast roamed our Earth. This was the woolly mammoth, a giant that dominated the Ice Age and now survives only in bones, frozen carcasses, and human memory. The woolly mammoth, scientifically known as Mammuthus primigenius, was one of the most extraordinary animals ever to walk the Earth. Closely related to today's Asian elephant, it was a marvel of adaptation and survival, perfectly designed for the cold, harsh landscapes of the last Ice Age. It roamed across the frozen tundras and expansive grasslands of Eurasia and North America, coexisting with early humans, who hunted it, drew its image on cave walls, and relied on its bones, meat, and fur for survival. Even in extinction, the mammoth continues to fascinate, offering us a window into a world long vanished. The origins of the woolly mammoth go back around 400,000 years, when it evolved from earlier species of elephants that had migrated out of Africa. As glacial ice sheets expanded across Europe, Asia, and North America, the mammoth adapted with remarkable efficiency to its environment. It developed a thick coat of long, shaggy hair that insulated against the frigid winds, and beneath its skin lay a thick layer of fat, sometimes as much as 4 inches deep, acting as natural insulation. Unlike its modern elephant cousins, the woolly mammoth had much smaller ears and a shorter tail, adaptations that minimized heat loss in freezing conditions. These features made it a true survivor of one of the coldest ages in Earth's history. Physically, the woolly mammoth was enormous, even by elephant standards. Adults stood between 9 and 12 feet tall at the shoulder and weighed an astonishing 5 to 7 tons. Its most iconic feature was its tusks, which could grow up to 15 feet long and curve in dramatic spirals. These tusks were not merely ornaments or weapons, they were tools of survival. Mammoths used them to dig through thick layers of snow to uncover buried grasses, to fend off predators, to battle rivals during mating season, and to clear paths through icy terrain. The size and curve of the tusks also served as a powerful symbol, and to ancient humans, they must have looked like something drawn out of myth. Despite their size and strength, mammoths were gentle herbivores. Their diet consisted mainly of grasses, shrubs, herbs, and the occasional bark stripped from trees. An adult mammoth required up to 150 kilograms of food every day, which meant they spent much of their time grazing. They drank water from melted snow and rivers when available. The environment that supported them, known as the Mammoth Steppe, was one of the richest ecosystems of the Ice Age. Stretching across vast areas of Siberia, northern Europe, and North America, it was dominated by grasses and hardy plants that could survive cold climates. Alongside mammoths lived woolly rhinoceroses, giant bison, musk oxen, reindeer, and predators like saber-toothed cats and cave lions. Humans, too, shared this world with mammoths, and the relationship was complex. For early humans, mammoths were a crucial resource. They were hunted for their meat, which provided food for entire tribes. Their hides were used for clothing and shelter, their bones and tusks became tools, weapons, and even the framework for huts. In fact, archaeologists have discovered ancient dwellings built entirely out of mammoth bones. Beyond utility, mammoths also entered human culture and imagination. Their likeness has been found in cave paintings across France, Spain, and Russia, making them one of the most frequently depicted Ice Age animals. These images reveal not only the importance of mammoths to human survival but also the respect and awe they inspired. Yet despite their strength and adaptability, mammoths eventually declined. Around 10,000 years ago, most of the world's mammoth populations had disappeared, and by about 4,000 years ago, the last known populations vanished completely. Scientists believe that this extinction was the result of multiple forces working together. Climate change played a major role. As the Ice Age ended, the global climate warmed, glaciers retreated, and the vast grasslands of the Mammoth Steppe gave way to forests and wetlands. The food sources that mammoths relied upon began to shrink. At the same time, early human hunting added tremendous pressure. As human populations expanded, so did the need for food and resources, and mammoths became prime targets. Some scientists also argue that the last remaining mammoth populations, isolated on remote islands, suffered from inbreeding and genetic weakness, which further sealed their fate. Interestingly, mammoths did not vanish everywhere at once. While most populations disappeared around 10,000 years ago, small groups managed to survive in isolated refuges. On Wrangel Island in Siberia and St. Paul Island in Alaska, tiny populations of mammoths lived until about 4,000 years ago. This means that when the Great Pyramids of Egypt were being constructed, a few woolly mammoths were still roaming the tundra on distant islands, unseen by human civilization. This overlap in timelines is one of history's most fascinating coincidences and shows just how recently these Ice Age giants were part of our world. Today, the woolly mammoth exists only in remnants, but these remains are extraordinary. In the frozen soils of Siberia and Alaska, entire mammoth carcasses have been found preserved in permafrost. These frozen bodies often include intact skin, fur, fat, and even stomach contents. Some discoveries have been so well preserved that the mammoths look almost as if they had died only yesterday, their shaggy coats still clinging to their massive frames. These remains allow scientists to study mammoth biology in incredible detail, from their diet to their DNA. They are time capsules from a world long gone. Because of these discoveries, modern science has turned its eyes toward one of the boldest projects imaginable, bringing the mammoth back to life. Known as de-extinction, this project aims to use DNA extracted from frozen mammoth remains and combine it with the DNA of Asian elephants, their closest living relatives. By editing genes and perhaps one day cloning, scientists hope to create a hybrid or even a true mammoth. Advocates argue that resurrecting mammoths could help restore tundra ecosystems, slow climate change by maintaining grasslands, and even give humanity the power to correct past extinctions. Critics, however, caution that such efforts are risky, expensive, and potentially unethical, diverting resources from protecting species currently at risk. Whether the mammoth will ever walk the earth again remains uncertain, but the very possibility shows how much this animal continues to capture our imagination. The woolly mammoth was full of fascinating traits beyond its massive size. Its heart was larger and stronger than that of modern elephants, able to pump blood efficiently even in sub-zero conditions. Its fur came in two layers, a shorter undercoat for insulation and an outer coat with hairs that could grow up to 1 meter long. Like elephants, mammoths replaced their teeth up to 6 times during their lives, an adaptation to their constant grazing. Even after extinction, their bones, tusks, and frozen remains continue to tell stories, displayed in museums across the world where millions of visitors marvel at these Ice Age giants. Ultimately, the story of the woolly mammoth is both inspiring and cautionary. It represents the glory of evolution, the ability of life to adapt to even the harshest conditions, and the fragility of existence, showing how quickly even the mightiest species can vanish. For humans, the mammoth is more than just a relic of the past. It is a reminder of the consequences of environmental change and human impact. If climate shifts and human hunting once ended the reign of the mammoth, similar forces today could threaten many modern species and perhaps even our own survival. The legacy of the woolly mammoth lives on not only in bones preserved beneath the ice but in the lessons it leaves us about resilience, adaptation, and the delicate balance of life on Earth.